Ruth chapter 2. Boaz was a rich and well-known man in Bethlehem, and he was a relative of Naomi's husband Elimelech. One day, Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go out into the harvest fields to gather the stalks of grain left behind by anyone who is kind enough to let me do it." Naomi agreed. "All right, go ahead." So Ruth went out to gather grain behind the harvesters. She found herself working in a field that belonged to Boaz, the relative of her father-in-law Elimelech. While she was there, Boaz arrived and greeted the harvesters, saying, "The Lord be with you." The harvesters replied, "The Lord bless you." Then Boaz asked his foreman, "Who does that young woman over there belong to?" And the foreman replied, "She is the young woman from Moab who came back with Naomi. She asked me this morning if she could gather grain behind the harvesters. She has been working hard all day except for resting a few minutes in the shelter." Boaz went over and said to Ruth, "Listen carefully, my dear. Stay with us when you gather grain. Don't go to any other fields. Stay right behind the young women working in my field. Wherever they are harvesting, you should follow them. I have told the young men not to bother you. If you are thirsty, help yourself to the water they have drawn from the well." Ruth fell at his feet and thanked him warmly. Ruth said, "Why are you being so kind to me? I am just a foreigner." Boaz replied, "Yes, I know, but I also know about everything you have done for Naomi since the death of your husband. I heard that you left your family and your own land to live here among complete strangers. May the Lord, the God of Israel, reward you fully for your acts of kindness as you have come to take refuge under his wings." Ruth said, "I hope I continue to please you, sir. You have given me comfort by speaking so kindly to me, even though I am not one of your workers." At mealtime, Boaz called to her, "Come over here and help yourself to some food. You can dip your bread in the sour wine." Ruth sat with the harvesters, and Boaz gave her some roasted grain to eat, and she ate all she wanted and still had some left over. When Ruth went back to work again, Boaz ordered his young men, "Let her gather grain, even among the bundles. Don't chase her off. And pull out some heads of barley from the bundles and drop them on purpose for her. Let her pick them up and don't give her a hard time." So Ruth gathered barley there all day, and when she beat out the grain that evening, she had filled a large basket. She carried it back into town and showed it to her mother-in-law. Ruth also gave Naomi the roasted grain that was left over from her meal. Naomi asked, "Where did you gather all of this grain today? Where did you work? May the Lord bless the one who has helped you." Ruth told Naomi about the man in whose field she had worked and said, "His name is Boaz." Naomi told her daughter-in-law, "May the Lord bless him. He is showing his kindness to us as well as to your dead husband. Boaz is one of our closest relatives, one of our family redeemers." Then Ruth said, "There's more. Boaz even told me to come back and stay with his harvesters until the entire harvest is completed." Naomi was excited. "Good, you should do as he said and stay with his young women right through the whole harvest. You might be harassed in other fields, but you'll be safe with Boaz." Ruth stayed until the end of the barley harvest, working beside Boaz's female servants, gathering grain. She even continued working with them through the wheat harvest in early summer. Ruth continued to live with Naomi, her mother-in-law.